Hello, my name is Michael, and I'm a new member here at Salt and Light Church. A veteran of the Navy for 12 years, and I'm currently a professional truck driver. I'm making this video because Pastor Lyman asked me to give a testimony on my experience with finding strength in faith and some of what it took for me to get there. I've never been someone who likes to ask for help. I grew up in a very difficult environment. Most of my family was lost in the pain of addiction and or abuse. So I learned early on that if you need help, help yourself. For most of my life, that seemed to work for me. Just put your head down, push on through, and deal with it. Now, there have been plenty of times where it didn't work. I would fall flat on my face, but somehow pull myself back up. Some odd months ago, I was in a slow fall. Barely hanging in there. And I found that I didn't want to pull myself back up. I was ready to give up. I was pushing loved ones away, not taking care of myself, and being too proud to admit that I needed help. Because I've always done it myself. Even if I expressed some of what I was feeling to friends, they couldn't offer me what I needed. I needed God. I just didn't want to admit it because I'm so strong, right? Wrong. I was weak and scared that if I reached out for him, I wouldn't deserve his grace and mercy. I would say pour me and pour a drink, or distract myself with the wrong women or people that didn't understand the suffering I was experiencing. And it was a mystery to me why my life and relationships were unraveling, because even though I did my best to keep my pain to myself, it would bleed through and hurt people I cared about without my consent. So I was defeated. I wouldn't admit it, but I was done. Then Pastor Lyman was doing a funeral service for the family and invited everyone to come to church and get right with God. I figured it couldn't hurt. I might as well try. Really try. I was wrong. It hurt. And it hurt a lot. I'll get to that in a second. But initially, I reached out to Pastor Lyman with questions about where to start. Well, I can tell you, it wasn't with pouring another drink, but pouring my time into the Word, and when I'm in town, coming to church. So I did just that, but I was still suffering. I didn't want to let my pain go. It was breaking me. Pastor Lyman called me one day to pray. And I was in a terrible state. An absolute mess. I was finally starting to see how my pride was blinding me and how holding on to my sins and my pain kept me from accepting God's grace. And it was painful. Like my eyes were stitched shut and I was finally cutting them open to see the light. Now, the light ain't always sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes it's a fire that purifies and burns away the darkness. I was raw, broken, and finally ready to give it over to God because I couldn't take it anymore. That day will forever be some of the best pain I could have ever experienced. Because now that I've let God into my life, I have hope, I have strength, and I accept that grace. In the short time since I've been repentant and I saw the error of my ways, I have been so grateful. My life has changed for the better. With friends, with family, with work, and with God. Now I know that I am far from done. He still has a lot of work to do in me, and I got a lot of work myself. But I am doing better than I was, and I'm looking forward to that work. And hopefully, I'll be doing better tomorrow. I was hesitant to give this testimony because I like to keep my business personal. But with the work that God has put in for me, and the relief that belief has given me. I tell this story to encourage you to come to church and get right with God. See what His love and mercy can do for you, because I know what it's done for me, and all I had to do was accept it. I pray you will too. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a blessed day.